Hi, my name is Cami Sanchez and I'm with the Western States affiliate, the Silicon Valley Division. I'm really excited to talk with all of you guys today about a really fun asset called Picture and a Promise, and we've actually been very successful here in the Bay Area being able to sell this asset with Go Red for Women. Just to give you a little background about what Picture and a Promise really is it's basically our way of capturing women making a commitment to live or do something healthier for their lifestyle, and actually taking a moment to think about what that might be, writing it down, marking something down, and then actually taking a picture or doing some kind of fun activity to really kind of make that more of a memorable moment. I'm going to share a little bit about kind of our benefits and what we've done here in the Bay Area and tell a little bit of the story of how we sold this sponsorship. It was a 2-year sponsorship with a local hospital. We've had a long-standing relationship with this hospital. They've been very involved, lots of support, but we've been basically working with them at the same level of a table sponsorship. What I loved most about this asset is it was a great way for us to go in and really get them to upgrade. And as a rule of thumb, we always want to take volunteers and have a real volunteer-driven, meeting and having them work with these sponsors. But because we already had a great relationship, it was easy for us to go in and really present something new and fun that they could really activate on. The pricing for our area, because of our MSA, was at $25,000 for 2 years, so $25,000 each year. And I'm going to show you a board right behind me here, kind of a picture and a promise and what you and where your MSA falls and what price you should be utilizing. So that's just a quick snapshot there. When I thought about why this hospital was such a perfect fit for Picture and a Promise was really because we had had a meeting and we listened in their meeting of what they were looking for. They were just remodeling their hospital. They had just put out a new logo. They wanted lots of exposure, lots of activation, and wanted to be, very interactive with our guests at our luncheon. So we thought Picture and a Promise was perfect. And really what we did, I'm going to walk you over here real quick to see some of what the materials that we utilized. Like I mentioned, we did a 2-year deal initially, and then we came back and were able to renew them for a 3rd year. Starting with our first piece of material, this is what we did the first year. We basically had our sponsors have an expo booth in the expo area where they initially, our participants and guests stopped here. You can see that they made a promise and a commitment. We had the date on there, their name, what they were going to do differently, cut down on the salt, tone up as they tune in, or start walking X amount of days per week or X amount of minutes, so really making that commitment. And then for the fun piece, they stepped into a photo booth. They could do it by themselves or with a friend, whatever they wanted, and had a little fun in there. And then, as you can see, all the materials were co-branded with our sponsorship, with our sponsor's logo on there. So lots of activation. They had their name in everybody's hand at the lunch, which they really appreciated. The second year was very similar. We had a photo booth, but this is where they more stood in front of a video camera. And then what we did behind them was put up more of a step and repeat. So more logo recognition. Again, all of their logo was on all of our materials. And then this little card dropped out of the photo booth, and we placed it inside of the card that they had signed their commitment to. So they could do like that. This is the front of the card, so it had the luncheon. And then you open it up, their insert went there. And this is all materials we were able to purchase through the internet or actually produce through our offices. What I love most about these is this is something they got to take home with them that day. They were able to put it on their office cubes or on their refrigerators at home, lots of fun things. And as you can see, people did it by themselves or they did it in groups. The last year, we really changed it up and did more of a red carpet feel. So, we wanted to do something a little bit different. So right after the registration table at the luncheon, they kind of came in, and once again, you can have a step and repeat, or we have our own Go Red kind of banner, step and repeat, where the ladies came, they signed in, they did a little smile, they had a little fun, and then they immediately stepped over to our sponsors booth where they were able to fill out their promise card and do some kind of activity there. What I loved also about the last year is that we really drove them to our website, because that's actually the link that we had them go to where they could find all of their pictures from that day. So they didn't actually get their photo that day, but they were able to go to our link in our website later on, which drove more traffic there. And then on the front, we had facts of information that they were taking home with them. And then we also connected it to our heart checkup sponsor where, we had blood pressure, BMI, and the date. So really kind of wrapped it all up nicely together. So those are some of the things that we did with our Picture and Promise, and it was lots of fun, lots of activation. Again, the logo recognition and everything was great. The sponsors were really happy and had a lot of fun interacting with our guests as they were going through the photo booths. So when I'm kind of wrapping things up, I'm thinking who is the best candidate for Picture and Promise? I think of anyone, hospitals, banks, corporate companies, anyone that really wants to be very interactive with our participants and our guests, or anybody that needs their logo recognition or wants to get that exposure. I would think high exposure, hands-on, very interactive. That's the kind of sponsor I look for when I'm thinking Picture and Promise. So that's about all I have to share with you today about Picture and Promise. We're really excited to see it popping up at more luncheons, and I say good luck and go Red.